All right, we're live. Tapping Birdie, Masters Week. Got my good pal Andy Lack here, coming in hot from the Sades. Andy, how are you tonight? How you doing?
I'm absolutely fantastic. It's probably my favorite week of the year. Obviously, as most people that love and follow golf the way that we do feel the same way. I'm already like feeling a little bit burnt out by Tuesday night, and we still have over 24 hours until the tournament starts. But I guess that's all part of the content cycle for this week.
Yeah, this is what we sign up for. I'm getting DMs from New Zealand radio. Can you record at 11 p.m. tonight? Like, I'm like, okay, like, sure, like, I'm down. Like, I can never say no to New Zealand local radio. Um, I think this is a thing. Stephanie Smalls just DM'd me asking if I wanted to do a quick pod with her and Lisa Ann tomorrow night. Like, not even bullshitting.
Oh,
So
you
we're
got to do
doing
it.
that. We got like 3 pods tomorrow, but overall, it hasn't been too strenuous of a week so far. I still got to focus on my real job, but this is kind of like my hour to shine. This will be my favorite hour of the prep that goes into Augusta National this week.
I would agree. This is probably the thing I've been looking the most forward to in terms of the various commitments that I have. So, like, as we stand now, like Tuesday, State of the Union, I feel like there's many stages that all of us go through in like our master's preparation. I
Yeah.
know that like I've changed my pick like 6 times in the last 24 hours. And so, like, how do you stand on Tuesday night? Like, we've been talking a little bit, but like, have you placed your bets? Like, is your betting card complete? Like, are you at the stage where you feel good about your bets? Are you at the stage where you hate all your bets? Like, where are we at?
I don't know who's going to win. Like, I straight up, I do not know who is going to win the Masters this year. A lot of people might be tuning in and they'll be like, yay, like Brian, Andy, like they're smart golf guys. Like, they probably got the winner. I can personally say I'm not sure who's going to win. I really don't know. I'm really not sure anyone I bet on is going to win, but I also don't know who's going to win from the guys I didn't bet on. So I'm at a pretty tough spot right now. I do not have like a decisive 1000% this guy is going to win the 2023 Masters. I only have 2 bets in so far.
Okay.
Got some options open, but I am not, firmly set on one person winning this week. I know we had some discussions. I know we'll get to it. Where do you stand right now?
I mean, I bet Rom and hate it. Like I'm
Okay.
like reached the point where it's like I thought that Rom was going to win the Masters for like 6 months, and now I'm at the stage where it's like he literally has no chance. Like it's going to be like we're going to cut to Rom on like Friday when it's raining, and it's going to be like, oh, Rom seems really bummed out about the weather, and it's like, oh yeah, like we knew the grumpiest guy in the entire field when it's supposed to be pouring rain the entire time. Maybe that irks him a little bit, but yeah, I mean the thing that I was happiest the most about, I guess, was that I found something in the 30 plus range for
Okay.
Finau on a local, because I was like, okay, I bet Rom at plus 950. If I can find like somebody, if I can find Finau in the 30s, I have room for that. And so I was able to get that, but that's it. That is the card. It is Tony Finau at 32 to 1 and John Rahm at plus 950. I'll be overjoyed if Rory wins.
Yeah.
Seriously, Kobe has like $50 on that for me as like a, just emotional hedge. But yeah, that's where I stand now. I'm like cautiously optimistic about Rahm.
Yeah. How are you feeling? Are you excited for DraftKings this week? Are you planning any pools? Like, how's your one and done selection go? I know that this week, no offense or anything, might not be your favorite from a DFS perspective when a 30% owned Corey Connors finishes eighth. Like, I understand that's not like an ideal outcome, but you're still excited for DFS this week. You think you got some edge? You think you could
I
win some
I
money?
I think so. I feel better after talking to Kobe on the DraftKings show that we did last night. Like my thing that I always get in trouble with at the Masters is like being too contrarian, but like, there are some guys that like I am going to play Rory and Rom at whatever ownership they are at, but I'm also going to play like a 3% Matt Fitzpatrick. So like, I'll find my ways to like, and like like there are some, other guys that we can get to maybe is like long shots down the board. But I will, I will basically use the same strategy that I have used in the past that, has luckily made me overall still a winning DraftKings player, despite the fact that DraftKings is so weird because you can be a winning DraftKings player and lose 85 to 90% of the weeks ever.
Yeah.
I've basically just had one or two really, really good weeks. But yeah, I think it's a tournament where I'll be a little bit more than overexposed. I think the big question for me is, do I dabble in that 200 single entry? And it seems like you and John are taking the plunge. So I feel like I kind of have to make the move as well.
Yeah, as you know, this year it's been a little tough for me. So I haven't been investing a lot in DFS. I'm losing money in other places, and I can't really afford to lose even more money on DFS. But I had a good Masters week last year. Probably my best DraftKings week ever. Just play the chalk. Just play the good guys. So I have to play again. Like my bookie's hitting me up. Like he's like, "Where's the money?" Like I got like a lot of things are coming at me, but like we're still taking the plunge. We're still investing into DraftKings this week. Maybe we'll play a couple pools. Getting a lot of DMs. DMs are literally flooded with people. Hey, I have this pool. Pick 8 golfers, and I'm like, I'm doing it. Like I genuinely gave 3 people like just it was like 2 people, 8 different tiers. Like boom, 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 did them all. So if you want advice for your pool, hit me up. Like I'm down. Like I will help you with that because this is a week, as you know, that a lot of people that maybe aren't sweating the 6K range of the Valero Texas Open are like, okay, sports betting is legalized in my state. Like it's Masters week. Like this is a golf tournament I'll actually watch. College basketball's over. There's really only like baseball and NBA to bet on. Those are 2 horrible sports. Like a lot of people are going to come and bet on this event. And I think that is great. And I hope that they understand that golf betting is one of the greatest things you can do. It's the best sport to bet on. Generally, overall advice, what would you give to like just kind of like a guy maybe bets the majors? Like that's really it for this week. Like what would be some overall general advice that you think that they could use?
I'd pick one of the 3 at the top. I would say do some research, read some articles on John Rahm, Rory McIlroy, um, and Scotty Scheffler, and determine which one of those you feel the best about, and then pick one. Don't pick 2. Don't
Yeah.
pick all 3. Pick
Yeah.
one, and then maybe add one name farther down the board that you're interested in. But I think that there is like a 100% chance that 2 out of those 3 players are going to be at least in the mix with a chance on Sunday. Of course, your guess is as good as mine whose it is. For me, I'm rolling with Rom slightly over Rory. Obviously, like fading Scotty Scheffler, you're stepping in front of a freight train. Of course, he has a good chance to win. But that's probably what I would say to a casual bettor.
Yeah.
I kind of want to ask you though, like, what is like the ideal scenario for golf this week? Like, not what is the ideal scenario for the PGA Tour, not what's the ideal scenario for Live. Like, what is like the best like outcome for golf this
Rory
week at
winning,
this
like
Masters?
not even a question at all. Rory winning the Masters. And I know that like maybe I have had some different opinions on Rory. Like there are very few times in golf where someone winning an event would make me happy if I didn't have money on them. Like
Yeah.
I would really, really love to see Rory McIlroy win the Masters this week. Like I am hoping that happens if I do not hit an outright bet, which I probably won't, just to be completely honest. So I think that is the best outcome for golf, not because he's the face of the PGA Tour and Liv just emerged. The guy deserves a win at Augusta. He deserves to win the career Grand Slam. However, golf does not really work that way. And there have been a lot of great players in history that have been perfect for this place and have not won. Greg Norman, Ernie Els, and they were talking about it on the No Laying Up pod. I'm not in the interest of stealing any takes, but there always seems to be one golfer in every generation that just can't get it done at Augusta. I am hoping that Rory can right the ship this week and get it done. Do you think this is best chance to win in the past 5 years?
I do. I like his lead. I trust his lead in form more than I have trusted his lead in form in past Masters. I think this is some of the best golf that he has played of his career. I know some people were saying, why is he tinkering with his driver? Why is he tinkering with his putter? It's like, dude, did you see the way that he drove the ball in Austin? Like, did you see the way that he putted in Austin too? Like, I think that he feels pretty good about his game. And to me, it's all about getting off to a hot start. I mean, the weather makes things so unpredictable this week. Like, I don't know if we are going to get golf in the rain. I don't know if we are going to get delays and a Monday, Tuesday finish. Like, I don't know what we are going to be watching, but if you put a gun to my head and were like, give me one take about what is going to happen, I would be like, okay, it's going to be wet. Right. Like, that's the one thing that I can say. And like, I think about some of Rory's most iconic wins, whether it be Congressional or even Valhalla, a lot of his, like a lot of those early Quail Hollow wins too. They are on wet golf courses where it turns into a contest of who can carry the ball the farthest and who can hit their long irons the highest and get them to stop on a green. And the answer to those questions is still, you know, a decade later, Rory McIlroy. So I feel great about his chances as ever, but like, I don't know. I'm with you. I think that I thought about it a lot and I was like, is the best scenario Rory battling some live guy down the stretch? And it's like, I don't even know if I think we so overrate. Like, an article came out that the broadcasters aren't even going to like acknowledge live storylines. Like, the half the people that are watching the Masters even know that DJ left. Like, I think really what you're looking for is Rory Spieth, Rory Rahm, Rory Scheffler.
And it's close on the back end of Sunday because
it's not like the players like Scheffler.
Yeah, because I've watched a lot of Masters final rounds. They're not all extremely exciting all of the time. There have been a lot of great finishes, of course, but there have been a lot of very boring finishes where someone just kind of ran away with it. And there's even been some finishes where a random person that not a lot of people know won. So all I am rooting for this week is an interesting back nine on Sunday. We were robbed of it last year. I vividly remember Friday night had a couple drinks, left work, and Scheffler was just absolutely putting everything to 3 feet, and he was up by like 7 on Friday. I was like, yeah, I think this is over, which really ruins the whole appeal and the whole interest of it's Masters weekend. I'm not going to do anything today but watch the Masters, and that's what a lot of people want. And Sunday was close for about one hole, and then Scotty chipped in and Cam Smith made a bogey, and it was like, okay, this is over. So the best thing for golf this week is a good Sunday and a good finish, or Monday, because if you're not a degenerate gambler like Andy and I, you are probably not on Augusta Wind Finder, looking at the super forecast, trying to get everything going. Saturday, it is going to torrentially downpour basically all day. It is going to pour all day long. Sunday looks fine. Thursday looks fine. Friday, there's rain, but it's light rain. But I believe there is some lightning in the forecast during the middle of the day. I do not have it memorized off the top of my head, but that's what I'm going with. So if you are tuning into the Masters this week, do not be surprised if there are delays. Do not be surprised if you get to the pub or bar on Saturday and there's no golf on, because there is a very good chance that this is the first Monday finish at the Masters since 1983. So it's troubling for sure. And I do think that I would not want Fred Ridley's job right now.
Yeah, and it's a nightmare for CBS too if it's a Monday finish. So one thing I was thinking about and talking about with Rick this morning is like, they are really against, from a tradition standpoint, going off in threesomes, right? We
Yeah.
talked about that too. And it's like, are they going to compromise things like that? Like, how is this going to play out? Are they going to do preferred lies? Like, what type of tournament is this going to look like? And I think there are a ton of interesting narratives. Like, we're 15 minutes into the podcast and we haven't mentioned Tiger yet, right? Like,
Yeah.
there's a ton of stuff that is kind of brewing on the periphery. I still think people that really follow golf are very curious about the live guys.
Yeah.
Like, I am very interested to see how the live players
It's
perform.
huge for them, and it's huge for
Yeah.
their brand, and it's huge for them going forward. There's just no doubt about it.
Yeah. If they find themselves into the mix, was Crooked Cat the ultimate comp course that we were looking
Yeah.
for in terms of preparation, with its grainy Bermuda greens, and its different, it's interesting, different weeds that we saw over there. So yeah, I mean, I think there are a lot of things to talk about. But yeah, what do you want to do? Odds board,
Yeah,
DraftKings? Like,
yeah,
what are
we'll
you
we'll get
thinking?
it. We'll get into we'll talk about the big three. The hottest man in golf, the reigning Masters champion, follower of Christ. Scotty Scheffler is 8-1. Feels like no one can beat him in the world. Look, I'm going out on a limb here. Scotty's not winning this week.
No
I've been
chance.
saying Scotty Scheffler has no chance to win the Masters. Scotty Scheffler has no chance to win the Masters this week. This is what you come into TIB for. He has no chance. He's not winning this tournament. It's not happening. And I know we don't want it to happen for like golf reasons, but it's just not happening. And if he does win, in my opinion, he is the best golfer to come on the scene since Rory. Like, I think he's better
Mhm.
than Spieth, like when he came on. But that's not going to happen. We're doing stats, we're doing trends, defending Masters champions results in like the year after they won. Decky T14, DJ miscut, Tiger T38, Reed T36, Garcia miscut, Willett miscut, Spieth T2 should have won, blew it. Evidence that he can't go back to back. Bubba T38, Scott T14, Bubba T50, Charles T50. No one else finished in the top 10. I
Yeah.
don't even think it's like the media obligations and like the champions dinner. Like, it's just not going to happen. Like, I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. Scotty is not winning this week. And that's all I have to say about that. He's not winning. Yeah, there's just zero chance. I used him in one and done. Even more of a reason he's not going to win. So he's not winning. He has the least likelihood of winning of the big three.
And he's like, who do you think's the more obvious pick? Is it Scheffler or
I
Rory?
think it's Scheffler. Like,
Yeah,
I
like, people
genuinely think
aren't
people
like,
are like, yo, yeah,
don't
I'm not gonna
overthink
overthink it.
this
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
Yeah, like, he's the best. And like, he's even like, for like, you look at the numbers and it's like his strokes, it's like he's playing unbelievable. Like, he's playing better than he was last year. But
yeah,
yeah, I just crossed him off immediately because I said, look, this has happened 3 times in a tournament that's been around for 80
yeah,
years.
yeah,
I understand that he's great and all that, but it's going to be a hard no for me.
yeah. And
I'm just
the
not doing it.
people that have repeated are the two greatest golfers of all time, and
Nick Faldo,
I would say Faldo is like a top 3
10.
Masters player of all
Yeah.
time. But
Yeah.
like, he's like one of the best like Augusta player of all time. So I'm out on him. We talked about Rory. I
Yeah.
think we'll both be very happy if Rory wins. Like, I think he has a really good
Are
shot.
you playing him on DraftKings?
Yeah, I'm going to. Like,
Okay.
I'm going to play him at the top of those three. Again, like, I don't really have concerns about Rom that are like real golf concerns, but like, I'm just a little worried about Rom. But
So
Rory's
do
my guy at the top.
you like Rory more than Rom?
Yes, for
Okay.
sure.
Yeah.
I just think, again, I think this is his best chance to win. He's played 81 holes in the past 2 weeks at this event. The driver's great, the putter's great, the damp golf course. He's like, I would be worried about his chances if he doesn't really, really, really contend this week. I really would. And it's everyone talks about the slow start. He's going to shoot a 74 on Thursday. He was in the top 2 of the past 3 majors. He was second after the first round at the Open. He was second after the first round at the U.S. Open, and he was the first round leader at the PGA. It's been the later rounds. I really do think Rory can win this week. I really want him to. And he's my favorite person at the top.
Yeah. He's got to get off to a hot start, as you said. I think that if we get a situation where there are delays and players aren't necessarily having to play in like disgusting rain, but they just get like hot and muggy and wet conditions, I think that plays into his hands perfectly. Um, I just they just put him at 7 and didn't freaking move him.
Yeah.
Like it's just, you know what I mean? Like I just it was hard to, I think the margins for me statistically between Rory and Rom were like very tiny. And I just said, man, the plus 950 versus the 7, I'll just bet Rom because I'll be so happy if Rory wins anyway. But yeah, like for me, it's like it is a coin flip between Rory and Rom in terms of who has the best chance to win this event.
So I know that you thought like Ron was your pick for a while before he, won every single event.
Right.
And now he's, 9.5 to 1. I think you got in on that number. You could get him at that number. You could boost it on DraftKings to like 11, but you could only get $50 down. What is your case for John Rahm winning this week? Again, after Thursday at API, I bet 100 grand on him to win a major this year. I don't know if anyone saw that tweet. Like I was like, yeah, after that round, it's like, what can he lose? He's going to be like 4 to 1 to win the Masters. But he hasn't been particularly great. I don't think that is really that big a deal. Like his last few starts, he was in the hardest group at the match play. Who knows what he could have done at the Players. So I don't think the quote unquote bad recent form, I don't really think anyone saying that is really an issue at all.
Yeah, the case for Rahm is that Augusta National was built for him.
Yeah.
I mean, this year, he has probably been the most well-rounded player in golf. He's the only player on tour to be ranked top 30 in all 4 major strokes gained categories. That is like some truly provocative stuff. Like Rory did that last year, and it was like, okay, this is why Rory, in my opinion, has elevated his game and is the best player in the world. Like the reason why Rahm didn't have the season that many people hoped for last year was his iron play and his short game, and honestly his putting at times. Like he was just way more volatile. And this year he's cleaned up the short game. He's had incredible iron weeks where he's gaining like 10 strokes, 11 strokes on approach to win at Riviera, right? His putter's been super hot. Like everything has been working for him in conjunction at different times. And like, again, all of the reasons why we like Rory on a wet golf course, like Rahm hits the ball nearly just as far. Rahm hits the ball nearly just as high.
Best long iron player in the world.
Rahm is statistically a better long iron player than Rory. Rahm's short game has been really good this year, right? Like he's putted well at Augusta before. So I think that like those are all of the pros for Rahm, and the negative would be kind of like you mentioned, like I think there's a trend of like you have to have a top 5 in your last 3 stroke play starts. Maybe he does have that. He
I don't
definitely
think
doesn't have
I
one in
think
his
it's like
last
just
2.
top 30 in last 2 starts.
Okay.
Stroke play.
Well, yeah. So he has, if you're not
doesn't
counting
have
the
that.
WD, I think before API, did he win Riviera? Was that his most recent start? I guess so. Yeah. And I mean, he's won 5 times in his last 13, I think, when you date back to the end of the fall. So yeah, I mean, I think he has as good of chance as any. We talked about this earlier last week where I was like, they have to drop him to 12. I was wrong about that. So I just ate the plus 950.
Yeah. No, I really like it. I think that he's going to play well this week. I don't think he's like being like overlooked. Like, I don't think he's like sneaking up on anyone, but I do think it's a good bet. And I know you talked about it. Like, I think Kapalua is probably like the best comp you're going to get. He just obliterated that golf course. So yeah, I like Rahm. Next guy, Jordan Spieth. I think collectively, like just from like people that like know ball and like bet on golf, like I don't think Jordan Spieth 18 to 1 to win the Masters is a good number. Like I just don't think it is a good number. Obviously has the history here. I just wish he contended more. I mean, the ball striking has been unbelievable. Like he's really, really been hitting the ball great. And it's kind of weird to see. Like I remember watching at API because everyone has their idea of golfers in their head, and Jordan Spieth is not like this guy's the best ball striker in the world. Like no one like thinks that. They think about putting and chipping. But to see him, absolutely pipe the ball off the tee and be dialed with his irons, like even at Valspar, which is hitting the ball really, really great. And then to see him miss these putts, it's like this is like the inverse of what I think about him. So I do think that he has that going for him. I would rather him being hitting the ball excellent and be kind of poor with the putter than the other way around. But I can't get there at 18-1. I think he'll have a good week. I just struggled to see him winning this week, and I'm not going to get there at 18-1.
It's a no for me. It's a no in DraftKings too. Would you play him in DraftKings?
No.
I just think that he's going to be 20% and it's going to be a hard pass for me. I think there are other guys in the nines that I like a lot better. So yeah, easy cross off for me. We can
and also
move
just
right
like
past him.
trend. Like usually you can't miss the cut in your last master start before you win. So it can't happen because
there you go.
of the trend. So like that's an easy cross.
Done. Yeah.
Last year, like I think you were a big part of this because you're a very persuasive and smart person, and that JT was a very popular bet last year. We bet him at 14-1, which looking back on it, and like Scotty was 16, like
I've
that
made
was a
worse
tough number.
Yeah.
That was a tough bet at 14. Regardless, it's in the past. He finished top 10, like he was in it. All week. Are you surprised like his odds haven't moved at all? Like he's been like considerably poor this year. Now, if you look at his stats, he's finished top 20 a bunch. Like Justin Thomas is a 2-time major winner. He's won like 20 times on the PGA Tour. Like he's considered a top 7 player in the world. Like he needs to do better than that. And going into the Masters last year, he was just like top 5ing every single event, and the strokes gained were just unbelievable. He doesn't have that this year, but there's no drift on him. Do the books know something?
Yeah, that's a good point that the number has not moved. I want to look at some like offshore markets and like, have you been like looking at Bookmaker at all? Like, I'm curious about like where he's at there. You know
I
what I
think
mean?
I think he's about the same.
About the same. Yeah. My thing for Justin Thomas, I'm very intrigued in DraftKings, although I don't think he's like sneaking up on people the way that people think. Like, I don't think he's going to be sub 10% on DraftKings. I think he'll be between 10 and 15%. I've bet him at the Masters, I think each of the last 4 or 5 years. I think as long as I've been betting golf, I still love the fact that he has bones on the bag. Like I still think that he has the skill set that is required. He like maybe has the best short game in the world, like underratedly. His irons have not been up to his standards though. And his putt, and he can't putt for shit right now.
Yeah.
And there are more important things at the Masters than putting, but like it's been such an issue with JT this year that I just don't think that he's at the level of the big three.
Yep.
And if I'm going to invest in somebody that's not the big three, it would have been Xander, Finau, or Cantlay.
Yeah. And I do not say this about everyone. Like I'm a little scared of JT. Like I could see it being like everyone kind of forgot about this guy.
Yeah.
And like he comes out and plays really well. He's still, only wins big events, but I'm a little scared of him, but I'm
good
not,
one and done pick.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure. Like maybe like you want to get some leverage in your office pool, like hit up JT, like no one's going to be on him. Like Nancy in accounting, like they're not touching JT. They looked at the strokes gain number, like they're out. Next guy, I know you have like, I think I'm going to bet him again. Like, I think I'm going to bet him. Like, it doesn't feel good, but I was talking with a friend before, and like, it's almost like I wouldn't be surprised if he misses the cut and like doesn't play well. So I won't be upset if that happens. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Like
all the time.
Like Patrick Cantlay, he's playing some really, really good golf. Second in strokes gained, tee to green over the last 24 rounds. The guy has found something with his new equipment. He has kind of that lead-in form that JT had last year, where he just seems to be contending every single week. third at Genesis, fourth at API, top 20 at the Players, made it out of his group. At the match play, the strokes gained off the tee numbers are berserk. Caves Valley, that there was rain, like boom, like all right, fine. Like I like Cantley. I think Cantley's gonna play well. Totally, this is just like a friend conversation. What did you think about his no laying up interview? I thought it was extremely awkward.
Yeah, it was weird. I'm pretty like, to be honest with you, it's funny. Like I haven't really talked about my bifurcation takes on a podcast.
Yeah.
Which don't worry, I'm not going to go into it now. But I thought some of his takes were like outwardly stupid. To be honest with you, I thought like again, like not to steal any takes. Like I don't want to trademark this, but Tron said it well after when he was like, I think Cantlay was mixing setup with architecture on some of his bifurcation takes. So I did think it was a strange interview. He did have some smart things to say about Augusta that like I agreed with wholeheartedly, like that it from a player's perspective, like this is way more of just the strategy is evolving into just hit driver as hard as you can on every hole. That's what I was seeing as well. But like Cantlay's probably the guy that I would feel the most pain if he won because he was the closest that I was to betting, and I'm not going to do it. I think he's too good of a player to not win at this course. I think he's too good of a player to not figure out his lack of success in majors. Did not have room on my card from a responsible betting standpoint, but I am in on Cantlay. I'm like
playing
in on him on DraftKings.
Like you're in, he's gonna play well.
Might be like as a hedge, like my number one and done in the league that I do have a chance in. So like I fully endorse the bet. Like, let me ask you this: like Cantlay or Xander, like who has a better chance to win?
I would say Cantlay just because he's playing a little bit better. But
yeah, and Xander has that weird thing off the tee.
But I also worry about, again, like I'm not going to just say he's the greatest player in the entire world. I worry about Cantlay because I feel like he only wins on Northeast bent courses like in the summer.
Yeah.
Those are his last 3 wins, like genuinely. He won at Memorial, which he shouldn't have won. Like John Rahm got COVID. Like his last 2 wins, and I mean he won the team event, but like he's just won the BMW championship in the Northeast on bent courses. Like that's just like what he's done. I think Cantlay's a guy that every year at the Players and every year at the Masters, people are going to be like, Cantlay's a good play. He makes all the sense in the world. I'm going to bet him. And he's going to continue to disappoint. I'm hoping that changes this week. I'm hoping that he turns the corner a little bit. But I know after the PGA, things kind of reached a fever pitch with this guy sucks in majors.
Yeah.
He lost to some PGA professionals, not like PGA Tour players, like guys that like teach golf for a living. And then he really turned it around and played really well at the US Open and the Open Championship. So I do think he has a chance. I'm betting him. You know, it's not my favorite bet in the entire world, but I feel good about it. It's fine. The next guy, you got a really good number on him. He's in the 30s. He's still at 25. You can get that Tony Finau, 3 wins in the past, 6 or so months. Played in the final group with Tiger in 2019. Playing some really good golf. And he's your second guy that you're wagering on this week.
Yeah, I feel like people are like, not that again, Finau is not sneaking up on anybody. His DraftKings ownership looks like fairly high. I think he's like at a fair price at $8,900. But this is a guy that I think is still playing incredible golf. Like I know that there's been win regression where he's not winning at the same rate that he was at the end of last year, where he piled up 3 wins and 8 or 9 starts. He hasn't finished outside of the top 25 in like 8 starts this year.
Yeah.
I think Augusta is a perfect golf course for him. He's finished in the top 10 here. I think 3 out of his last 5 starts in Augusta. Good long iron player, hits the ball a long way off the tee. Trust his short game. Actually, these are like the types of greens that you want him on, and he's putted really well at Augusta in the past. I just thought of I don't think you can play like this guy can't close a golf tournament anymore. I know he hasn't closed a major, but like if Tony Finau, Patrick Cantlay, and Xander Schauffele are in the mix down the stretch, like that's a toss up. Like,
Yeah.
and maybe it's Finau that I feel best about. Like, I don't know, but like of all these guys, like Finau winning 3 times in his last 9 starts, like, do I feel better about Finau's chances on Sunday down the stretch than like Jason Day's, like Cameron Young's, like Xander Cantlay, all these guys?
They're
Like,
all losers.
it's
They're all
yeah,
losers.
it's like choose any of them. Hovland, Zalatoris,
And
Sungjae,
that's
like
what's so
choose
tough
them
about
all. Yeah.
betting this week because I'm going through it and it's like if you're not betting any of the big three, and it's easy to cross off the guys in the 20, like it's easy to just kind of be like, I don't think they can win the Masters. Like it's easy to have that sentiment about a lot of guys. And I have like room for like one guy, like 25 and up, like I don't love like I like Xander. It feels like a safe play. Like obviously, like almost won the deck a year. Like played really well there. Obviously has been unbelievable in majors. I thought he was playing better golf. Like the results haven't been like astounding. Like they haven't been unbelievable. Like I don't know if this is exactly the lead in form like I'm totally looking for. Obviously, the off the tee concerns in his last 2 starts, losing 3 and then losing 3.6. I don't really know what's up with that. I'm not really sure what's going on there. But like he would be kind of my other guy, or like Colin, but Colin too, like, and Adam kind of like, because I was talking about Colin, he was talking about Colin. I'm like, if a place where everyone can hit the fairway and there's a lot of long irons and you have to be good around the green, that doesn't really scream Colin. I want Colin at a place where like hitting a fairway is at a premium. Like there's a lot of like short to like mid irons and like it's kind of low score, like kind of like medium scoring where you don't have to have an amazing short game. So that's where I'm kind of out on Colin. But at the same time, like he looked like the best player in the world at Kapalua, which is kind of similar for like the majority of the tournament. So I'm kind of having a hard time grappling with that. Obviously finished 5th place here last year. Like I know, like take your bias aside, like who do you like better out of those two? Because Collins played better this year than Xander Schauffele. Like I don't think really that's really a debate. It really comes down to course fit.
I do like Xander more, and I think I'm being unbiased about it just because I think that Colin's short game and putter is so volatile right now. And you're right. What Augusta does is it takes away one of what Colin's biggest weapons is, which is the ability to drive the ball and play. And I think about like, can I envision a super rain soaked golf course and like Colin Morikawa winning? Like maybe, but it just feels to me like there are better spots, there are better opportunities for him. I'm
Yeah.
thinking of LA Country Club. I'm thinking of, you're right, like places like Harbor Town and Colonial, these courses that feel like they were built for him. And like even Harding Park was so much more of a shorter positional PGA Championship. Harding Park was like under 7,200 yards,
Yeah.
right? And this course could play 8,000 yards.
Yeah.
Okay, so like that is my concern with Colin. If he is the guy, like who has lower ownership to you, Colin or Homa?
Like who
Who comes
who
in lower?
I would say I don't know. It's hard to say because I
Yeah.
think conventional wisdom would be that Homa has no history here and he has no history in the majors and like he's not going to play well. But at the same time, he's had an unbelievable season and he's really freaking good at golf and he's kind of moved into that top 10 player in the world category. But at the same time, Colin has 2 majors. But I don't know if people are going to be like, oh, he's not a good course fit because like everyone's hitting the fairways. Like I think it will be pretty close because I think people really like to play Homa right now on Rick Run Good. Shout out Colin's 15 and Homa is
What, 11 or 12?
at 11. So yeah, I think it's pretty close. I do think it's pretty close. But of the guys I'm considering, I'm not considering Homa. I'm not considering DJ. But I did bet Jason Day 50-1. Like
Good
it wasn't
number.
really that long ago. I just got a really good number on it. He's currently at 28, which I don't think is ridiculous. I think 22 is ridiculous. I know it sounds dumb. It's only 6 points. Like 28-30, like I think is pretty fair on Jason Day. He's obviously been playing really, really, really great golf. 7th in total strokes gained in this field over the last 50 rounds. Like he just doesn't have the truly in contention rounds that I'm like really would want. That's kind of my only downside is he hasn't truly been in contention. But 7th at the Farmers, 5th at Waste, 9th at Genesis, 10th at API, 19th at the Players. Was 3 up on Scotty Scheffler at the match play. 4 top 10s, 3 top 5s at this event. And we always talk about how important around the green game is. He is literally top 3 on tour short game around the green. Excellent putter. And he was piping it. Like I wish I was like, oh, he's like 15th in driving distance. He's not. Okay. I test. He's long off the tee. Like whatever. What do you want me to say? He was piping it at match play. Great par 5 scorer. I condone a Jason Day 28-1 this week. I'll be playing him in DraftKings. I think he's a fucking shoo-in for a T7 finish. Like I really like Jason Day, first round leader, top 10, top 20. Like winning would be a big ask. He's going to finish T7. Like he will finish in the top 10. I really like Day this week.
Yeah. I mean, you just have a great number. Like all of my opportunities to bet Jason Day this week, like the best I ever saw was 25, which was going to be a no for me. I think my buy number on him would be like 33.
Yep.
But like, I think it would like numbers wise, it was really close between him and Finau. They're really close in DraftKings pricing. Like that's a decision you'll have to make, but like, yeah. Has Jason Day done everything that that you would be looking for in terms of a Masters champion leading in except winning? Like he absolutely has. He has the course history. He has the short game. He has the driving. He has the long iron. So yeah, I think at 50-1, I'm not a huge futures guy, but you have a pretty good wager in there.
Yeah. I think we're going to be all out on these guys. Cam Smith, I'm out on. Something's up with his wrist. KVV is reporting on it. He's finishing T35 at Live Tucson. Like, I'm just out. Like, it's a good number. Like, he's just not winning. Like, I don't care. Like, if he was absolutely destroying the Live Tour, I would consider it. He's not. Cam Young, he's not winning. Zero chance. Cam Young is not winning the Masters. He's just not. Like, it's not going to happen.
No chance.
Hector Hovland, no chance.
No chance.
Zero chance.
Zero chance.
Guys, zero chance.
Literally, no Victor Hovland's not winning the Masters in those fucking outfits. There's no way.
No, I've been seeing a lot of people with like, they're not winning. Like these are why they're not winning. Like these are
you kind of invented that.
I didn't want to fucking say it. I fucking invented it. I love it though, because it's fun to say someone has fucking zero chance to win a golf tournament. And like, usually you're right. Like it's really hard to like be wrong on that. But what I've been doing is, so I write my thoughts about every single golfer, like below 70-1 for golf tournaments. And so if they win, I can't be like, oh, I was going to bet him, or like I want to have a take on everyone.
Yeah.
Taylor Moore, I said not a good course fit. I don't know why I said that. Like, I'm not sure how I came to that conclusion. And then Sam Burns, I just said like I didn't say can't win, because usually my default is can't win. Like last week, I said Corey Connors can't win. I was wrong. Like you got me. But yeah, those guys can't win. Brooks, I think he can contend. I don't think he can win. Like he looks good. I think 44 is like about what he should be. I think maybe like 45-50. I think he can contend. I don't think he can win. Burns out on Sungjae.
I think Sungjae has a shot. I think Brooks has no shot. I'm so out on Cricket Cat and the Master Blasters. He has no fucking shot.
Love
None. No shot. No shot. I'd be shocked if Brooks made the cut. Shocked.
No, he'll make the cut, Andy.
You think?
It's so easy.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just getting aggressive. It's it's Tuesday night. We're running out of takes. I got to go somewhere.
Brooks
parlay. Brooks miscut parlay. Like I think Sungjae is I don't want to say he's a good DraftKings play, because like I actually think Hideki or Zalatoris at their ownership is better, but I do like Sungjae at like a bird's eye view to play well this week.
And I really think Sanjay is like a great pool play. Like I
Yeah,
think Sanjay is a great top 10. He's a great top 20 bet. Sanjay is going to be in the mix this week. The dude fucks here. There's just guys that's fucking Augusta National. Cam fucking Champ plays well here. Like Sanjay M, second to DJ, first round leader last year. I see some people betting him first round leader. He's not going to go back to back first round leader. It does not work that way. Also, Rose first round leader. He did it too recently. First round leader model will be out tomorrow. So I write for Odds Checker. I have to bet two guys, and I don't like it's on a week like this. Like it's important who I bet. Like I'm not like just going out on a whim like Sunday. Like,
right.
all right, like I'll just write up this guy. Like I'm writing up a guy that I'm going to bet, and I wrote up Jason Day. I had the future, so that was easy. And I'm like looking and I'm like, yo, I'm just betting Will Zalatoris at 45-1. This is an absolutely ridiculous price. This is an aggressive overreaction by the market and everyone. This is a guy who was 3 collective strokes from winning 2 major championships last year and that has finished runner-up and 6th place at this event. Yes, he was in better form those years, but much like Brooks in 2018, 2019, the guy shows up at major championships. And I know he has the back issue. He finished T4 at Genesis 2 months ago. Like, he made the cut at these 2 events. Like, he putted horribly. He puts well at Augusta. He does not have to go super low. This is a complete misprice. This is a complete overreaction because he missed a 3-foot putt at the match play and it went viral. You know who else missed a 4-foot putt to go into the finals? Scotty Scheffler, the number 1 player in the world. Like, this is a gross overreaction. I love Zalatoris this week. I love him top 10. I love him top 20. I love him in your pools. 45-1 is a joke. It is an absolute joke. Bet on Will Zalatoris to win this week. It's my favorite bet. On the board, I just don't understand this price. And in a week where there's not a lot of value, I will gladly take the value on Willie Z.
Yeah, he's incredibly dangerous. I would say that either him or Hideki is a lock to be on my single entry team. I think both of them are being under-owned compared to what they should be, in my opinion. And yeah, Will Zalatoris is a guy that essentially has been, over the past year and a half, the best major championship player. I guess you can throw Rory into that mix. And like you talked about, like there was no universe 3 months ago where Zalatoris was 45-1. And it's like, the thing that's interesting is like, everyone's like, oh, Rom's sneaking up on people. Maybe it's JT that's sneaking up on people. No, it's like Zalatoris is the guy that's like double what his price was thought to be, and no one's still betting him. So like, that is the guy that actually is, that's the guy that honestly, the most people, if he has the lead on Sunday on the back 9, the most golf bettors probably will be like, oh, I'm the biggest fucking idiot in the world.
Yeah.
Right?
And it just came out today that he had a stomach bug at match play. Like he had a stomach bug and like lost like 6 pounds and he's totally fine again. He was boozing. I love that. I love it. He's like, I'm eating fast food and boozing. Like, yes, Will Z. And like there were takes like, oh, like Will Z doesn't look like he wants to be out there. Yeah, he was sick. Like it wasn't like he withdrew because of his back. I'm all in on Willie Z. Cantley, Day, Willie Z. Those are my outright bets. I have to pick another guy. I don't know who to pick. I'm just gonna have to worry about that. Out of kind of this above 55-1, who do you like the best? Lowry, Rose, Fleetwood. Out of those, you know, just kind
Rose.
Rose
For sure. The ownership's a little concerning.
Yeah.
But like, I think Rose, like, not a first round leader guy. That's a good first round leader bet though. That's a good top 10 bet. I like Justin Rose probably the most out of that group, I would say. Can't win.
I think Justin Rose is a great player. There's a lot of vets that just fuck here. He's a vet that fucks here, and he's playing really great. I like Rose as well. I know you talked about it with Kobe. I listened. I really like Minwoo this week.
Oh,
I really like Minwoo first round leader. That is a play. I really like Minwoo top 20. This is a guy who just played in the final group of the Players. He played well here last year. He's super long off the tee. I think that's going to be very important this week. I really like Minwoo. Again, in an event where it's a lot easier to make the cut, plus money, top 20. I like that. I think he gets out to a hot start. Most people are not, playing DFS. Like, I'm sure he's going to be high owned. I'm in on Minwoo.
He might, yeah. I'm so confused about what his ownership will be. Like, he's projected high, but like, is Minwoo really going to be 13% in the Millie Maker at the Masters? Like,
I like,
that,
or
yeah,
just like the casual people that like play, like they probably do not know who Minwoo is. Like,
yeah.
genuinely.
Yeah. So his ownership, like on all the projections I'm seeing are like 13%. Like that may end up being incorrect. Like I just went with like I think Kurt Kitayama does everything that Minwoo does.
I love Kurt
Yeah.
as well. I love
Yeah.
Kurt as
I
well.
just think
First
he
round
is such
leader,
a
top
good,
10, top 20. I'm playing him in
yeah.
DraftKings, Hundo P.
Yep. Yep. I
Yeah.
think Kurt is my guy. So yeah. Anyway.
I'm in on Kurt as well. Again, this guy does well in big dick events. Second at Scottish Open, second at the CJ Cup, 1 API, elite off the tee. Has Bryson's caddy on him. We all know how Bryson has played here. Excellent. He's always played really well. So he has that kind of caddy thing going. I'm in on him as well. I know I've come around on this 100%. Tiger will finish in the top 30 this week. I have
Ooh.
zero doubt in my mind. Like, I really have. I mean, the guy finished 40th last year in much worse shape. He looked fine at the Genesis. Like, of all the major venues, this will be his best finish. I don't think that is a hot take, but I am not in the interest of fading Tiger or like betting him. Like, I think Tiger will finish in the top 30, like without a doubt.
Yeah, I'm probably closer to like I'm comfortable saying that he'll make the cut. Like
Yep.
again, I just think if they have to play through rain,
Yep.
like I just have very many concerns about like a situation where like it is I just his footwork with the wetness and the hills and stuff like that and that would be my biggest concern. But like, yeah, I think that Tiger is going to do what Tiger has been doing at these major championships, which is like impressively making the cut for where he is at physically, but there's no chance in hell that he can win. If you are betting Tiger will make a hole in one on the fourth hole or the sixth hole or like any of those bets, like though you are just literally lighting money on fire. Like like the only bettable thing on Tiger, in my opinion, is like minus 150 to make the cuts fine. I don't know what the top 20 number is, but like if you're a little higher on him than me, you can bet him top 20. I don't even think he can finish in the top 10.
Yeah. We shall see. But I hope he plays well. I haven't, I think Tiger has like a different relationship to a lot of people. Like when he was winning all these events, like I wasn't like into golf. Like I wasn't like watching
Yeah.
the Valero Texas Open. So like I've never really had that like attachment to him. But watching him at the Genesis like changed everything. Like for me, like him like birdieing those final 3 holes, like it was just magical. And like I don't really know how much time I'm gonna have left to do that. I'm surprised by his pairing, like Hovland and Xander.
Yeah.
Like,
They just played it safe, like overall. Like even the live guys aren't really in any interesting, there's
yeah,
no really like provocative
it's
pairings this
hilarious
year.
because
Yeah.
I don't know about you. I couldn't put a reason why how they pair the live people works. It just works. And that's why the Masters is the best fucking organization in the world.
Yeah.
Okay, that's I take that back. That is an erroneous statement. That is not very forward thinking of me. So I take that back. But they do things right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. They play the game.
That
They know how to play the game.
like,
And yeah,
but like looking at who they're pairing with, it's like, oh, that works. That's not controversial. But like, if I had to do that, I couldn't do it.
yeah, no, they took the easy way out on a lot of these live guys. Like they even kind of just like I'm surprised they've kind of just put Phil in the garbage can this week. Like they put Cam Smith, I think, in like Cam Smith and DJ both in like uninspiring, like kind of safe pairings. Nothing crazy. Like Well, I guess they can't do Scheffler, Rory, and Rahm together because Scheffler has to play
Yeah.
with like the amateur
And the
winner
Masters
or
usually doesn't
whatever.
have
But
like the big pairings like the
no,
other majors. But it
no,
was just interesting to me because Tiger returning last year was such a bigger deal, and he was paired with Neiman and Louis, and
yeah.
like now, like it was just odd, like from last year. But yeah, I mean, I do think he will have some magic and he will do something fun this week. I know we talked about Kurt. You like Thiegs?
I like Thiegs. Yeah, DraftKings play. Like if we're now in the range of like this guy can't win, but like
Zero
he
shot.
can zero chance. I would love if Sahith was relevant, but I don't think he could win. But like my favorite guys of like guys that can't win this tournament, but great top 20 plays, great DraftKings plays, Sahith, Kurt, Mito.
You're in on Mito.
Oh, Gooch too. Fuck yeah,
Gooch.
Gooch. Yeah.
Those are your guys. Like
Yeah,
again,
Mito, Gooch, Sahith, Kurt. Like those guys are gonna like finish T17 this week. So thank me later with your DraftKings lineups.
yeah, I like those guys. I also like Fox.
Yeah. Well,
He
you're going on
won.
New Zealand radio, so you sure you don't want to
Yeah,
save it?
I'm talking. No, well, like I'm not even capping. Like he won the Dunhill Championship at St. Andrews, and it like legitimately poured all week. It was like disgusting
Ooh,
weather.
I like
So
that.
strokes gain rain, strokes gain long off the tee, strokes gain random Euro that plays well at the Masters. Ryan Fox
Fox.
is
Yeah.
your
And
guy.
and
Yeah, not like I mean, this is just Cam Champ. If he plays well, it's going to be like the biggest meme for like people that like like that like know golf. Like if Cam Champ plays well again, like it will just be absolutely hilarious, and he's just going to be like the biggest course horse. But I think that kind of the covers the board. I think that you will win money this week if you listened to this pod in some way, shape, or form. I think you're more informed than you would be. What is your prediction for the weather when they finish this tournament and what the winning score will be before we head out?
okay. I think like if you like I know it's such a fool's errand, but if you force me to predict the weather, I would say that they get it in on Friday and we're kind of semi on schedule heading into Saturday. And then Saturday gets a lot of wiped out. And because of the importance of CBS getting their television coverage window, they do finish this tournament on Sunday. And I think it ends up being wet enough that you get like a softer golf course when it starts to, the sun comes out a little bit on Wednesday or on Sunday. So I don't think it's going to be like insanely hard. I think the only case where it's insanely hard is if they're playing through a ton of rain. So I will say I'll stick with it because I don't want to waver. I will say that Rom wins the Masters at 12 under par. And it
12
does
under.
get, yeah, Rom wins the Masters at 12 under par after a 36 hole finish on Sunday.
The way I'm looking at it, I agree.
You think
You know,
Monday?
no, I don't. I don't know if I like Sunday's fine. Like there's no issues on Sunday and there's no issues on Thursday and Friday. So they should be able to get it in. They're going to have fucking 50 guys out there. Like it's
Yeah.
not like they like this is the easiest tournament to like get in. I don't know what the Masters has done in like a scenario like that before, but I just don't know if there's no lightning. I think Saturday is just going to be absolutely god awful, and they're just maybe get some holes in. Um, I think that it will be higher scoring. Like I think it's going to be like a minus like 7-8
Okay.
winner.
Yeah.
With Willie Z winning, he's not going to win, but whatever, that's fine. But yeah, I think it will be a little bit higher scoring. Why? Just kind of a vibe. Just kind of like
Just a
whatever.
vibe. It's a longer golf course. The changes to 13. There is the chance that there will be sometimes during the tournament where guys are playing through rain. I could absolutely see that. I just hope they get it in on Sunday. I really do. Like to be honest with you, it's an elevated event next week at the Heritage, like
Yeah, that would be
where
great.
I can't just like take the week off or like mail it in, like
Yeah.
everybody's showing up to the Heritage. So I really hope that it's not a Monday finish and we get this thing in, my friend.
Before I let you go, I'm like very quickly, I'm like genuinely curious. We might as well do it on the pod. Like, what actually do you think that they should roll the ball back? Do you think that Tour
Yeah.
Pros should play a different ball than regular? Like, you're in on it 100%.
Yeah, of course. Of course. I mean, first of all, you know that the way that I am going to look at this is save the iconic golf courses, right? And I just find it frustrating that Pasatiempo and Marion are having to put tees back on roads for, I mean, forget some of these places like Fisher's Island, National Golf Links,
Yeah.
Chicago Golf Club. Like, there's just not even a chance that they can host a professional golf tournament. And they're the most iconic venues that exist in the world. They're the most impressive pieces of art when it comes to golf that the world has, in my opinion. And they don't even have a chance to hold majors. And people are like, oh, like it's whatever, like it's 40 golf courses. It's like, yo, those 40 golf courses make up like part of what makes golf such a big business. Like, there's a fucking problem when Augusta National is having to purchase land from different country clubs to build new tees that are like in the fucking woods. Right. So you can't say that this isn't a problem. Ask any player that plays the Masters or any PGA Tour course, and they will tell you, like, yo, I don't hit that many long irons anymore.
Yeah.
Guess what? The skill in golf is being able to hit a long iron and hitting different clubs in your bags. Go back and watch the final round of the 1978 Masters or the 1984 Masters or the 1991 Masters. You will be so shocked with the skill involved and the amount of long iron play that you will see from these players. Do it at any tournament ever, and then go watch a PGA Tour event and see how many times it's driver wedge. I know that this is niche. I know that like I'm the only person. There's a very niche group of people that really sit down, watch a golf tournament and are like, yo, this golf hole would be better if he was hitting a 4-iron on it than a 9-iron. But like, sorry, like that is how the game was intended to be played. So does golf as a sport get better if they roll the ball back at the professional level? Does it get more interesting? Does it get more skillful? Yes, it does. The answer is unequivocally yes. And if you don't understand that, then I don't know how better I can explain it to you. But I also understand that like 99% of people should not care about this. But I do get paid to talk about these things and to talk about golf. So yes, that is my opinion on the matter.
Well, I wanted to get it on the pod. I know we hadn't, chatted about it in the past.
That's probably the take that you expected me to have.
Yeah, no,
I
I agree. Like the only people that don't want it are like ball manufacturers and like all the like Cantley, like Tyler's pays him a lot of money, and what he said, like was basically that what he talked about it in the interview. I'm not gonna go into his take, but like ball manufacturers are like, fuck, like we're gonna have to spend millions of dollars to create this ball that has no ROI. Like they're not gonna have. That was Cantley was talking about. He's like, because there's no business in that. Like they're gonna have to spend all this money, and it's like we're just using these balls for like the top level talent. But I think the argument that like playing the same equipment is bullshit. It's just not the same equipment. And I agree with you because I play golf. A lot of people listening to this podcast play golf. If you get onto your iron shot and you're 200 yards out and you have to hit your 5-iron or 4-iron, you're like, fuck, this sucks. Like, I don't want to do this. But if you have your 9-iron and you're like, this rocks. The best players in the world, like we want to see the best players in the world have to be like, fuck, I don't want to hit this 200-yard shot. Like that is enjoyable versus just like seeing a bunch of birdies. So I'm with you. I don't know what will happen, but we shall see. But I know, like, it was awkward between Solly and Cantley and that.
Oh yeah. And like I've been so there on a podcast before too, where it's like, oh no, this is like not the vibe that I was expecting.
Like it was the opposite of a conversation. Like, it
Yeah.
was truly just like a Q&A. Like, it was genuinely just like Sally just like reading questions and like Cantley would be like, I'm not sure. And I listened to Cantley's interview at the Masters. Have you been doing that?
Yeah, I listened to Tiger's full one
Okay.
this morning, but,
Yeah.
like, that's about it.
Okay. Listen to Cantley's if you have time. Every question is like, I'm not sure. Like,
Yeah.
but regardless, Andy, an absolute pleasure. Everyone go check out Inside Golf Podcast, my favorite golf podcast. Everyone go sub to Rick Run Good. Everyone follow Andy on Twitter. And everyone have a wonderful night. It was a pleasure having you on, Andy.
Absolutely, buddy. Anytime, we will do it again soon, my friend.
Okay, have a good night, everyone.